Welcome to We Won't Finish This podcast. This is a writer's room podcast where we pitch movies to each other that we'll never make. Spaceman.
I'm Savage.
I'm Zeebz.
All right, we got Zeebz up tonight. He's got a story for us. We have never heard this before. It's our whole thing. Everyone's fresh here, so why don't you lay it on us?
All right, well, tonight I've got a post-apocalyptic movie with a twist.
Okay.
It's a doomsday prepper who misinterprets events, goes off the grid, convinced civilization has collapsed, unaware that life continues as normal.
Okay.
Right.
I like it. So just crazy guy in a missile silo somewhere, essentially.
Not quite. We'll see.
All right,
We'll
fair
get
enough,
there.
fair enough.
So the movie starts, truck pulling into a driveway of a somewhat run-down house with an overgrown lawn. The bed of the truck is filled with freshly purchased tactical toilet paper.
So is it like camouflage?
He's a prepper.
Yes, it is camouflage.
Okay, and
actually.
then this is like a surplus military vehicle. Am I kind of like getting
It's
this
actually
right?
duct tape.
Well,
Oh God,
it can be. So
the last rule you'll ever need.
out of the truck steps Rex Thunderstrike,
Oh, wow.
Jesus
a
Christ.
40-something
Wait a minute.
a 40-something-year-old wannabe military man. He never actually served, but he carries himself as if he had.
Okay, birth name Rex Thunderstrike.
I don't want to get into it yet.
Okay. So far it's his government name. All right, continue.
Rex is wearing night vision goggle head strap with the goggles flipped up. The sun is shining.
It's midday and he's got the goggles on.
Yeah, okay. He
Yeah.
looks at everything like a wraith.
It's
okay.
just for the
Yes.
for the look.
All right.
So his wife Liz,
It's a lifestyle.
his wife Liz flings open the front door of the house,
Oh,
screaming.
he's married.
Yes. What the hell is all this now?
Oh, I'm having trouble suspending my disbelief, but continue.
Well, listen to how angry she is, and you'll believe
Okay,
it.
all right.
So I have a question. Sorry. Where does this take place? Where does he live?
Geographically, yeah.
It's
roughly.
got to be a rural area, like not much going on the roads for the sake of the story, bordering the wilderness. And I will say it's also very important that it's somewhat near the Appalachian Trail. Not
Okay.
exactly sure
So
where,
he's got
but
some. He's
Okay.
got some acreage somewhere in a rural area.
not necessarily his property, but that's just where it's located.
Okay.
You know,
We get the idea then. So
Yes.
somewhere along Appalachia.
sure.
All right.
So his wife flings open the door, screaming, "What the hell is all this now? We already have years of toilet paper stashed." "Throw it out," says Rex. "It won't last anyways. This is the good stuff."
It's
Everyone
taco
knows
night.
the shelf date of the toilet paper. After that, it's
Yeah.
no good.
Well, he says, "This is the good stuff.
Just
Extra
turns
durable,
to dust.
extra durable, waterproof packaging, and camouflage." You're right.
Yeah, I really hate the camouflage.
Well, it's a real product.
Oh,
really?
good.
Yes.
Ick.
Look up tactical toilet paper. That's exactly what it is.
Ugh, all right.
Um,
Wow.
I hate it. Thanks.
You moron. We can't afford to keep doing this. We're behind on bills. And you were supposed to cut the grass today. Instead, you went out shopping?
We put a mortgage on the house for the last toilet paper run.
Yeah. So he says, "I think we should let the grass grow. It gives the illusion to bandits that there's
No.
nothing here of value."
They say though that like toilet paper is not going to be like the shortage thing. If anything,
Yeah, it
there's a
wasn't
shortage
last time.
of, then toilet paper is not going to be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in a real apocalypse, I mean, I'd wipe with gravel if it came to it. I wouldn't
exactly.
care.
Like,
You know?
yeah. Yeah, you would find things along the way. You'd make do.
Yeah. So, he says he wants to leave the grass growing along for bandits to think there's nothing of value here. His wife is furious, and she agrees that there is nothing of value in their house. All right. So Rex tosses her a roll of tactical TP and tells her to put it in her bug out bag. She stares at him blankly and goes back inside. "Oh, I'm ready to bug out, all right."
That would be, yeah, if just one partner's really into prepping and the other one's just like, oh,
We
not
have
this
bills to
again.
pay.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
Yeah. So
Your son already doesn't speak to you because of this.
So Rex follows her inside with his arms full of TP. The inside of the home is completely filled with prepper items stacked along every wall. Boxes are labeled things like zombies, nuclear war, pandemic, aliens,
so he
mother-in-law.
He doesn't have a specific thing in mind. It just could be.
He's got a broad stroke going.
He's ready for anything,
Yeah.
basically.
Different ply, like toilet paper in each bag, I would assume.
He's got a
'Cause
different toilet
sometimes,
paper
like-
for every crisis.
There was that show for a while. It's called Doomsday Preppers, and they all had like, I'm convinced this is how it's gonna end.
Oh, yeah,
Everything's
they've
gonna happen.
all got a theory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's It's something else.
So Liz is sitting at the table with her head in her hands. She tells him that these purchases are ruining them. There's no money left for them to enjoy their lives, and she wants to finally just take a vacation.
My God, how much toilet paper has he bought?
Well, apparently years already, and now he's like, throw it out. Now we're doing tactical tea.
They're running out of room to store it all, so it's just like lining the hallway.
Yeah, there's no room. to
Tipping
even live.
over.
The warehouse you're renting is just, it's ruining us.
Yeah. So she wants to take a vacation. Rex reminds her they have a cabin in the woods. That shack, she responds. It's a shed in the middle of nowhere. It's just another one of your survival purchases. I can understand being prepared to a point, but this has gone way too far. But babe, look at the state of the world. It's only a matter of time before World War III, an alien invasion, or worse. Liz shakes her head. Maybe you should be worried about more immediate and realistic things ruining your life, Rex.
Yeah. Well, what would you pick, though?
Right.
Aliens or World War III?
Oblivious.
I think I'd go aliens.
Aliens.
I think I'm going aliens.
How hostile are these aliens?
Even
Are we talking
hostile
War of the
aliens?
Worlds, like where they're hunting and exterminating you?
Yeah. Well,
I think I'd go World War III in that sense. But if we're going to roll the dice on maybe the aliens aren't,
okay. So yeah,
maybe they'll enslave us in a more friendly way.
here's the choice: 50-50 aliens are hostile or not hostile, or World War III.
Aliens.
Yeah,
Flip that
I'm
coin.
still going aliens.
Yeah, I'd take the 50. I'd take the coin flip over the,
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Sorry.
No, you're good. So she says, maybe you should be worried about more realistic things ruining your life. I'm going to go lay down and think. Liz goes into their bedroom and slams the door. A box falls from the top of a stack, spilling tactical sporks across the floor. Another real item.
Tactical sports.
It's another real item.
Camouflage sporks,
They probably have like a
or is it like carbon fiber?
I don't have
like
the
a
sporks.
special grip.
I'll be honest, I don't have the details.
All right.
on the
Titanium.
but they are real. So Rex starts picking them up as he tells Liz that he's leaving for work and will be back in the morning. Rex pulls up at work. It's an overnight security job where he has to sit in his car guarding a closed factory building.
He's a security guard. Okay.
Yep. It's a large, dark, empty parking lot, and he spends the entire night reading prepper forums on his phone. Hours into his shift, his phone service goes out. Huh? That's strange. He restarts his phone a couple of times, but still no service. Rex is puzzled and pulls out his work walkie-talkie to contact his superior. That too has no service. Dear God, he says as he shifts his truck into gear.
They still have like lights on in the parking lot, or
It's just a dark, closed place. So I'm picturing completely dark.
Yeah.
And he's just like, dear God. And he shifts
That's
his
happening.
shifts his truck into gear, hits the gas, backs through a fence onto a dark country road. He drives home as fast as he can, nervous about what might be happening, but also kind of happy to rub an apocalyptic crisis in Liz's face. He pulls in the
that's
driveway.
the I told you so.
Oh, yeah.
moment.
He's
Oh
waiting
yeah,
for that one.
he's been
Right.
waiting for it. So he pulls in the driveway, and
And
all
she's
the
already left him.
yeah, you get it. You get it. He pulls in the driveway, and all the lights are out. There appears to be no power. Liz's vehicle is gone as well. He flips down his night vision goggles and walks inside. He's been wearing them.
The entire time.
Yes. He notices that Liz has taken most of her clothing and personal things with her.
Right.
Now she
wrote-
understands.
She wrote out the breakup letter on the toilet paper.
But he couldn't see it. The irony.
He says, now she understands. Let's just hope she remembers the plan, Rex says to himself. He notices the roll of teepee he gave Liz is still sitting on the table. He picks it up and says to himself, she'd be a goner without me.
Gosh, she's going to be so itchy.
So Rex begins to pack his truck up with assorted survival gear.
So he's still convinced like this is
Oh, yeah.
normal.
Like, the grid has
everything's-
gone
Everything's
down.
good
Yeah.
between us.
It's happened.
yeah.
Yeah, she finally understands what I've been trying to tell her. So he begins to pack his truck up with assorted survival gear. He's smiling ear to ear. He loves it.
He's been looking forward to this his
Yes.
whole life.
So what are the thoughts? You've already assumed she's left him.
Oh, yeah,
That's
obviously.
the assumption that's to be made. And I will say what
Well,
inspired this is there was a big, like Verizon, AT&T, all this stuff went down recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at work and I had a walkie-talkie that they use, and that also did go down. So
Yeah.
that would be the confirmation in his eyes of like, it's not just my phone.
Yeah,
and
my
it-
God, they got it
Right.
all.
It's
And
not
he
a bill payment
he
issue.
spent years and years of his life preparing for this moment.
Yeah.
And now it's like, now's the
Exactly.
time to spring into action. And
Exactly.
fuck yeah, I'm ready.
He's
for
been
this.
ready,
Just blasting Freebird on his way to his cabin.
basically. So
He's like, I don't know what people taste like yet, but I guess I'll find out.
So Rex is shown driving down a dark dirt road surrounded by trees. He sees oncoming
He
headlights.
just immediately jumps into worst case scenario. mode.
Yeah, within
He's
5
like,
minutes.
He's
of his
like
phone not
wearing
working.
like a biohazard suit with like a gas mask on in the car.
Yeah, basically his phone loses service and he just drives through a fence and thinks the shit hit the fan. So he's driving down the road, dark dirt road. He sees oncoming headlights approaching him, and his expression turns serious. He moves a blanket on his passenger seat to reveal a miniature rocket launcher. He puts one hand on it. The headlights pass him without incident, and he breathes a sigh of relief.
Another survivor out there, just like
Close
me.
call.
Like, whoa, the Rex Thunderstrike.
I pass in peace.
Yes. So as the sun is rising, Rex pulls off the road and drives several hundred feet into the woods. He gets out, places a camo cover over his truck, loads a very large survival backpack onto his back, and begins walking even deeper into the woods. He's following his compass and appearing lost until he sees a sign indicating he has reached the Appalachian Trail. There we go, he says, as he begins walking along the trail.
Yeah, I think he's got to like. It's just gonna look like nothing if you're driving around the side of the road, and then he pulls off, and he's got to like pull some brush aside or something. It's like already hidden.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we've already
Entrance.
established he has this shed in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So essentially, he has a path. Like he already said he has a plan with Liz
Uh-huh.
that I'm sure he's talked her ear off about.
Yep.
And that they're going to travel along the trail through the wilderness to get to this shed because, whatever, the roads are too dangerous or something. So after a quick time lapse, Rex spots a small campsite slightly off the trail, and he immediately dives to the ground for cover. He begins to slowly army crawl towards it when he loudly snaps a stick by mistake. Immediately,
Fuck.
Yes. Immediately a rustling and inhuman groans are heard from the tent. Zombies. I knew it.
Uh-huh.
Rex
Zombies, huh?
takes a rifle from his back and aims it. A man is seen staggering out of the tent, continuing the zombie-like groans. Rex aims
He's just
at the
going to take a piss or something.
Yeah,
no, this guy's going to town on his wife.
No. Rex aims at the man's head, but before he fires, you hear the distinctive sound of the man unzipping, and he begins peeing on a tree. Rex lowers the gun and just stares disappointedly. The man loudly farts, and now Rex looks annoyed. The peeing and farting continues, and Rex begins to look angry. He quickly jumps up and charges the man with his gun drawn and yelling commands.
I was thinking it
Who
would be
then farts
funny.
and pees more.
It'd be funny if the guy like got done and he turned around and just sees Rex and he's like in his full gear and everything, just trying to sneak through the campsite.
Just, what are you doing?
You're like, what are you doing, bro?
This is Call of
You're
Duty.
fucking weird.
No, okay, that I do like that. That is pretty good. He's just like, hi. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's not the right camo, dude.
Is this? But this is at like a public campground or something.
Well,
that he's
it's the
gotta
Appalachian
sneak
Trail.
through.
So there's plenty of people hiking the trail. You know what I mean? And this is a guy, he just happened to come across his camp. And it's also important to note that people on the trail, they're on it for a very long time. Weeks, months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this guy's probably been without phone service himself. So, Rex runs at him, gun drawn, yelling commands. The man puts his hands up and starts screaming. Rex orders him onto the ground, and he fearfully complies. What is this, man? Who are you? Shut up, Rex tells him. Rex starts peeking around in the tent and looking through the man's bag. After seeing that he doesn't have any firearms, he tells the man to sit up, and he does.
I'm going to eat your arm.
What's your name? Asks Rex.
What's your toilet paper situation?
This stuff will never hold up. He goes, "What's
Civilian?
what's your name?" Asks Rex.
Pathetic.
Kyle. Well, Kyle, you seem to be woefully unprepared for survival out here. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm out of food.
You don't even have any night vision goggles.
I was going to stop in the next town to buy some more supplies, but you can take all my money. Please, just don't hurt me. Ha! Money? It's useless now. The dumbest thing you could ever do is go waltzing into town. Don't you know what's going on? Society has fallen. Your best bet is to stay out in these woods and learn how to live. What? What happened? Kyle asks. I'm not exactly sure. It could be.
I don't know.
He goes, it could be Russia, China, aliens. All I know is it's over.
Yeah, to think about it, I never really fact-checked anything. I just kind of boldly assumed. And here I
But
am.
now he's spreading rumors. He's getting other people on board. with
Yeah,
it.
this guy has no idea. He's been out there for weeks,
He's like,
Kyle looks stunned as he tries to wrap his head around what he's just been told. Both men sit quietly for a moment. Kyle breaks the tension by reiterating that he really needs supplies. He has no food and is very hungry. Rex thinks for a moment and then proposes a deal. Since Kyle has nothing worth carrying and 2 free arms, Rex offers to take him with him if Kyle will help carry Rex's gear. Kyle agrees without hesitation as he feels completely lost in the situation if he were left alone.
Right.
Rex reaches into his bag and tosses him a canned cheeseburger.
Oh God.
Also a real item.
Yeah, I know it's real. I've seen that, and they look gross.
I've never seen it. I
Oh,
never heard
they're
of it.
bad. Like it's just a wet burger
That's a
out of a
last
can,
resort kind of thing.
like
Yeah.
the bun and all.
I can't
Wow.
imagine expecting bread to last.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's a
seriously.
full burger, toppings and all.
Yeah, I know.
That's-
I've
Yeah.
seen it. Like it's horrifying.
I mean, you've seen what a leftover burger looks like the next day out of a refrigerator.
I
You can only imagine. Well, yeah, but you gotta get the lettuce off.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, anything like that's gonna wilt. It's gonna be like mush.
it's not a good time.
Yeah,
Can't
but
be.
seriously, there was just like a thin layer of slime over like the entire bun, and it was just
Where did you see this?
disgusting.
Yeah, because it's
Breaded, I
like
don't know.
preserved and whatever they can.
Not in person then.
No, just pictures on Reddit. Yeah, just a thin layer of slime is the best way to put it. Like it would be damp eating it and squishy.
Well, that's the good stuff. That's what
Ugh.
keeps you going.
Yeah. Ugh.
So, as the two men eat their burgers, Kyle continues to ask Rex about what they are to do and where they are going. Rex explains that he has a very hidden survival shack deep in the forest. It will take them a couple weeks to walk there as the roads are too dangerous. He explains that he has many supply caches buried along the way filled with more canned cheeseburgers.
I'm kind of rooting for these guys
Sweet.
to fall in love.
There's room for that.
It's a love story. I like it.
I'll keep you fed for the walk, but you'll need to make your own plans after that. My wife is meeting me at the destination, and I can't endanger her with strangers or by putting a strain on our rations by letting another person in. Kyle understands. They pack up camp and move on. So where are you guys at?
Kyle,
Now,
I
you
feel like
understand
Kyle
what's
is
happening.
like a stoner.
That's
like
kind of what
just
I was
a whole
picturing.
Yeah.
Burnout, and he's like, "What? No way, man!
Yeah.
Like
That's kind of what I pictured.
Wild, bro."
Yeah, 'cause it's very gullible to just immediately like go along with something like
right.
that.
But I mean, think of it, even if you did, even
This
if you
guy
were,
seems like an expert. He's got all the gear.
yes,
Like,
I
I
could be
haven't heard any news, but this sounds like it could be.
Yeah, I could be taken
thing.
to a secondary location and just absolutely ravaged. We don't want that.
and even if you were skeptical, would you still want to take the risk of just like going into town and checking?
Probably.
You know what I mean? Like you haven't been on your phone in weeks.
If it's between that and like going and living in the shed forever with some dude that I just met.
Well, he's been told he can't stay in the shed. It's literally
not
just
allowed.
Well,
it's like a
fair
temporary. You can walk with me, but then you got to
Yeah.
figure it out.
I'll give you a fucking dog dish
Yeah.
that'll leave
Yeah.
I feel
outside
like
the
Kyle is happy to go along with this plan.
Yeah, I feel like he like you said, he's gullible. He feels scared, and he's just like, this guy's my only chance. So
Yeah.
he's going with him.
He must have been foraging for mushrooms along the way on the trail.
Yes, I think he found some too.
Okay.
So, but now
enough.
you understand the premise. You
Yeah,
understand what I was saying and how it will work. You know, basically, and yes, it's supposed to be pretty obvious that Liz is not walking the
Oh,
trail
yeah.
right now. The power got cut off because they didn't pay their bills.
What was his name? Rex
Thunderstrike.
Thunderstrike.
Yes.
So it was like
I think
Anne
he
Thunderstrike. What was her name?
Liz
Picked his own
Thunderstrike.
nickname.
I guess it'd be Liz Thunderstrike.
I think he
I don't
tried
know why
to
that's
like
funnier to me.
he tried to start that like everyone call me Rex Thunderstrike now, and they're like, no, your name's Clarence.
You
Like,
guys
you're
know
not-
more
you don't get
about
to
this
pick
movie
your
than you
own
even
name.
realize.
Yeah,
It's not Clarence, but it's not a legal name. So another time lapse is shown of them walking, chatting, and digging up canned cheeseburgers. Rex is getting a little nervous as he thought his wife would be walking ahead of them, and so far all of his caches have been undisturbed.
Rex Kwando.
As they walk the trail, eating more canned burgers, Kyle expresses how lucky he is to have come across Rex.
How many of these does he have?
I think they're buried pretty frequently.
Yeah, let's say they're pretty cumbersome.
They're eating a lot of canned cheeseburgers.
So he's got like basic tracker skills. Like they're walking along. It's
You
nighttime.
can hunt down
They're
a
just
canned
on the
cheeseburger
trail.
anywhere.
They're just on the trail.
Okay, so like
you know what I
every
mean?
I feel like he's just
Every
got like a
third tree.
dispenser of like canned burgers, like attached to like the
that would
side
probably
of his
be
bag.
pretty heavy to carry more
That's
than
what I'm
a
saying.
couple.
That's why you bury them.
Yeah.
That's why
Oh,
you dig
that's
them.
right.
That's
Okay,
why
so
you
those
dig
are
them up
buried
as you
along
go.
the
You
way.
eat them.
Okay.
You eat them as you dig them up.
Oh, God.
Okay. So as they walk the trail, eating more canned cheeseburgers.
This will sustain me another 2 miles to
Yeah.
the next one.
So Kyle expresses how lucky he is to have come across Rex. Without their encounter, he'd have just strolled into town unarmed and been at the mercy of whatever roaming bandits have surely taken over by now. Rex agrees and reminds Kyle that life as he knows it is over for good.
Remember, Kyle, you're my bitch now. No matter what you're told,
Basically,
you're my
Society is no more.
So their best
I'm
chance,
your only hope.
Their best chance will be to rebuild. Kyle's expression changes from relief to sadness upon this
I
reminder.
think-
bitch now. Kyle, we need to repopulate the
I
world.
think Rex is gonna be like army crawling, making us like slowly wait
Just
across.
tactical rolling.
And Kyle's just kind of like just casually walking behind him,
Yeah.
but like also scared. But yeah, Rex is full bore. Everything he does is like to
he's
avoid the
all in.
enemy. And,
Yeah. He's all in 100%. Like, yeah, no, you're right.
Yes. So, as Rex tells Kyle all this, Kyle, he gets visibly sad. And Rex says, I know it's a hard pill to swallow, kid. We've all left people behind. Those are wounds that'll probably never heal, unfortunately. It's probably best to not think about the horrors our loved ones are facing. It'll only cause pain.
I've got some canned cheese that'll make you feel better.
Yeah. You want a barbecue one? Kyle responds, it's not exactly that. I just realized that I'll never get to try out that air fryer I had ordered.
That's devastating. I love my air
That's a
fryer.
game changer for sure.
It really is.
For years, everyone told me I had to get one, that it was a game changer.
It's a game.
Yeah.
I literally have that written here. I was about a week away from returning
Changes
home.
the game.
I was about a week away from returning home from my Appalachian Trail hike, and I decided to finally order one. It's probably on my porch right now.
I think
Some son of a bitch is going to take
for
it.
their cheeseburger break, I think Rex needs to kind of criticize Kyle. Like, you're not even prepared. Like, here's this multi-tool. Why don't you go carve a spear from a stick or something? And he gives him like
They
this.
just have like face paint on and stuff.
yeah, he's like, got to get ready.
You'd think that he'd be asking
Improvise.
him tips.
So, I only have this 10-pound bag of rice I brought with me. Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You
That's
can't even
not
put that on a
rice.
burger.
That's not
Dick.
rice.
Got to use your water.
Yeah, so Kyle's upset. This air fryer is probably on his porch right now. He says, anytime I happen to get cell service, I would look up recipes and just dream about it.
Just munching raw rice.
Now I'll never get to experience any of it. This guy's very upset about his air fryer.
Yeah, I mean, rightfully so.
Yes. So Kyle breaks down into tears and awkwardly hugs Rex. There. It's okay, kid. They're overrated, to be honest. Really? Rex pauses before answering.
No, not really. They're pretty
Not
good.
really.
No, not really. They're amazing. It's completely changed the way I
It's a
cook. I'm
game
so
changer.
sorry.
It's
Sorry,
devastating.
you'll never
I
get
know.
to
Yes.
experience that.
So he finally woke up to the air fryers, and it was too late.
Yeah, too
It's
late.
too late.
It's
He's
just
like, I've got this manual pump air fryer in my backpack, and he pulls it out, and he's got like the bellows. He's just going
And I would say
over
I
the fire.
haven't written it, but there is a complete. A lot of people go on the Appalachian Trail for different reasons. Some people it's just the trail. Some people it's like after a divorce or after a job loss. So like there is a whole opportunity for like a big backstory.
Like
Yeah,
a
with Kyle.
pilgrimage or something.
Well, it's just like I'm going through this huge change and I need to think about some things and I'm just gonna go walk this trail and be in my own head for 2 months, or whatever, and then
honestly,
figure
that
it out.
sounds amazing.
I tried. I want to do it for a while, and
people
I
do
did.
it, I think.
I did a lot of research about it, but it just came down to like, you just got to be gone for so long,
Yeah,
and like we
like-
don't even live that close to it, so like you
Right.
got to travel to it to just walk in the woods.
Like at most,
know.
I could do like 2 weeks, and that's like stretching it.
Well, and then the people you go with, you hear stories of like they get mad at each other, where like you get in a fight with your friends, and like I watched a documentary on
You
it one
gotta
time. And
trudge along next to him.
Well, it's kind of interesting where they'll walk like a day ahead of their friend because they're like in a tiff, but the only thing keeping them together is like, well, we're sharing a water filter.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Right,
So it's
he's
like you've
gotta have
got to
my
link back
supplies.
up,
yeah.
so like it is kind of interesting what people go through on the trail. Like
just need some space, man.
it's a self-reflection thing. I mean, you get like there's criminals out there that are hiding. You know what I mean? Like I mean, there's a lot of weird.
Bears.
People don't go by their real names. Like they have what they call their trail name as well. So like that's like you meet some guy and his name's like Denim, or something, and it's like, yeah, somebody just called me that because I was wearing.
This is a weird
jeans.
subculture I didn't know existed.
No, it really is very
Yeah.
interesting to see, like, because I think to walk the whole thing, it's like 4 or 5 months.
Dang.
And some people don't do it all at once. They'll go do like a month and then they go back home, and then next year they pick up where they left off, and
Yeah.
and it's also seasonal where
it's like a rite of passage, basically.
yeah, there's certain seasons to do it because like there's whole stretches where like it's just going to be raining for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and
that
you
sounds
just
awful.
you just got to deal with it until you get through this stretch or whatever. And, you know, obviously the difficulty varies. It gets really hard sometimes, and then it's really easy for a while. And, you know, so there's a lot to the whole Appalachian Trail angle.
Yeah.
You know, and you do run into people out there. So it's, you know, it is what it is.
So it's like set up for a booby trap or something. Like if that's what Rex is expecting to encounter at any moment.
Well, he thinks it's Walking Dead.
Yeah.
You know, so he's just like, yeah, we're out in the woods. The roads are too dangerous. So the two continue walking, and Rex explains that his shack has solar power, and he promises that they'll score an air fryer somehow along the way. This cheers Kyle up, and the two men are now discussing the kinds of things they'll cook once they're settled in a familiar bubblegum shrimp fashion. So they're just discussing all the things you can air fry. It's like,
Apparently.
you can even do broccoli, chicken, broccoli, chicken.
I
you know,
see.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can
You
air
lost me
fry
for a
that
second.
too?
Bubblegum shrimp. I was like,
No,
wait,
no,
what?
it's just listing
It's
everything.
Bubba from Forrest
They're
Gump.
Tell
just-
me more, Rex.
Yeah, they're just
What
wa-
else can you air fry?
They're just walking the trails saying everything you can air fry.
I did some chicken wings recently in air fryer. Pretty good.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I looked
so
up
good.
KFC style chicken drumsticks.
Nice.
Pretty good.
That's the best way to reheat old leftover pizza.
Yes, he's right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yep,
He's
I've
right.
done it. Yep.
So as they're walking and talking about all this, they pass an elderly couple who's walking the opposite way. Without breaking stride, Rex just points his rifle right at them as they pass. Keep
Freeze,
walking.
motherfucker.
He just says, "Keep walking, or you're dead." And the couple passes with minimal reaction. We need to get off this trail. So that's like I'm picturing everybody they pass. He's just pointing like an AR-15 at their head.
And they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, there's like Jesus, dude. Just keep walking.
They're like holding hands on the trail, and
Yeah.
then they
So
come across
Yeah,
this
so
guy.
he's
I'm
got
like, "Ugh."
dozens of complaints filed against him. like,
Well, but who do you come? There's no cell service. Like I said, this movie heavily relies on no cell service.
well,
You know what I mean?
fair enough. But if you're walking along and just you keep pointing guns at people, eventually the phones come back on and you call the cops.
It's gonna take you maybe a day or two to report this guy, but now they've gotten off the trail. So that's
all right.
that's kind of where I'm at. Is they jump on and off the trail. It's all very reliant on them not looking into what's going on outside. You know,
You
no
gotta have some
outside
serious
con-
blinders up.
Exactly. So Rex and Kyle, now they're deep in the woods. They've gone off the trail. They're shown walking through much thicker and more treacherous wilderness. They're getting increasingly hungry as they've had to skip a few caches by leaving the trail. Eventually, they're too hungry to hide, and they return to the trail to get to the next cache. And when they arrive, they see that it's already been dug up.
Oh,
Oh, someone beat you to it.
uh-oh. Liz Thunderstrike.
Yeah, my wife's been here.
We got a real plankton on our hands stealing the Krabby Patties.
I was gonna
This is
say
what's
that.
going on.
That or just a bear found it.
Probably some sort of wildlife, yes.
I would assume.
This can't be, said Kyle. While still very hungry, Rex is actually relieved, as this probably means that Liz is in fact ahead of them. They keep pushing on as they arrive at the next cache that night. It's also been dug up.
Okay.
This is now becoming a crisis.
They're like stomachs grumbling,
Oh yeah, they would-
jonesing for those canned
they
burgers.
need a
man.
canned cheeseburger.
No, I think at that point, then Rex needs to like hunt for something or send Kyle to go. Like, this is your test.
He's gonna
You
eat
need to-
Kyle.
You need to get us.
He's got to eat Kyle.
You think this ends with him eating Kyle?
He's got to eat Kyle.
So we're
No, like Kyle, use the spear that you just carved, you whittled out of
Yeah.
this branch, and
Kill
go
yourself
get
with
us
it.
some game.
the rest of it just becomes in. You know what? It is pretty upsetting about that air fryer. You probably should consider killing yourself.
just end it. Just do it.
We
I'll,
could re-
I'll give you a good burial. I promise.
Smash that affiliate link for your air fryer if you purchase it.
So, it's becoming a crisis. They're very weak from all the hiking. And they need to find food now. They pass a sign signaling a town nearby, which they will have to risk against Rex's better judgment. It's only been a couple weeks. There should hopefully still be supplies left to loot. They can only imagine the chaos that awaits them. Now they're going to go peek into society to see what's been happening, right?
So the nearest town is like a small city. Or is it like
It's
a
still
little...
got to be like pretty rural.
Yeah.
Do they got a Starbucks?
No.
Okay, good. I understand the size
Yes,
now.
Yes. As they approach the tree line, They
It's
can
got
see,
like a gas station, a stoplight, a general store,
And
maybe.
a Wendy's.
well, and a
Post
Walmart.
office.
Because as they approach the
Oh,
tree
Walmart.
line, they can see they are uphill from a Walmart.
Okay, fair enough.
They both crouch in a bush and observe. It appears to have been completely taken over. There are vehicles coming and going. People appear to actually be shopping.
Okay, is there a Starbucks in the Walmart?
Okay, sure.
All right,
Maybe.
thank you. At least a Subway.
Yes. So now they're just looking at a Walmart.
Pillagers have started their own news society.
Well,
They're paying full price for these goods.
so this is worse than I thought, said Rex. I can only imagine the numbers and firepower this faction must have to be able to operate like this.
They're holding down some sweet territory.
They're not only holding down a Walmart, but they're allowing people to come in and buy. They're bartering and trading.
Yeah, this is the marketplace now.
They're not
Yes.
even in survival mode.
We're going to need a very well coordinated plan to pull this off, is what Rex says. So the two men lay in the bushes for a couple of days, starving, as they devise their perfect plan.
Kyle's like, hey man, what if we just like Leroy Jenkins and haul ass in there and
Yes.
grab what we need?
So they've both been watching through Rex's binoculars. Look at these people, says Kyle. It was hard to imagine how bad things have gotten until you really see it. Both Rex and Kyle begin making note of the horrors these Walmart shoppers must have been enduring in this new broken world. Their clothes are tattered and unwashed. Their bodies are filthy and misshapen. They notice an unusual number of people requiring mobility scooters as well. Like they have been eating trash and their bodies are failing them. Maybe there was some kind of nuclear fallout that the men had somehow avoided by being in the woods
Oh
during
my
the initial
God.
collapse.
Right.
Super mutants.
They're just looking at people of Walmart and they're just like,
They're
my
decomposing
God.
in front of my eyes.
Exactly. Obviously, these people.
Cyborgs.
Right.
He says, obviously, these people weren't all human
Don't
anymore.
breathe the air.
So this is what I'm thinking. This is the foreshadowing we're playing out. Remember the boxes in his house and what they were labeled. So he's thinking about World War III when he meets Kyle. He tells him, I don't know if it's Russia, China. So that checks the World War III box, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're at Walmart. We can check the nuclear fallout box just by them looking at the people shopping there, right? So I'm thinking as the movie plays out,
It's devastating.
he's tricked into thinking it's every possibility that was presented with the box labels at the beginning, right? That's foreshadowing.
Okay,
right?
all right.
So this is the nuclear fallout section. Rex and Kyle will need to be in and out as quickly as possible, not only to avoid being detected as intruders,
Keep the radiation exposure.
yes,
to
but
a
also
minimum.
to avoid whatever toxins have mutated everyone inside.
These freaks have really gone through a lot.
Yeah, we don't want to be like them.
So we wrapped Kyle in saran wrap and realized he was cutting off his breathing.
And I'm open to it because we have some choices coming up on how they play this.
Yeah, he's like,
So choose your own
hey man,
adventure.
you don't have like an extra one of those suits.
No,
Like, no.
I got this roll of
No.
saran wrap.
We only-
I got
So,
this
yeah.
duct tape.
Yeah,
So-
saran wrap and duct tape. Walking around like a mummy.
So they can't wait any longer, and they need to make a move now.
Kyle's definitely making his own suit though. Like he's like, well, that's better than nothing. So here we go, and he wraps all
Yeah.
up.
Spin me.
This is the slip and slide I'm going to wrap around myself I packed that I knew I would use at some point. They're literally starving in a bush overlooking a fully stocked Walmart. They have to make a move. So here we have a choice. So Rex noticed that they're still using cash for purchases. Do they use Kyle's money to act like they belong and just shop and just sweating the whole time? Like, oh my God.
They're like,
you know,
Totally normal human
yes.
behavior.
Like
Here's my-
they're panicking, but like they're just black natural and they're just shopping at Walmart.
I feel like Rex goes like towards it, like grabs a trash can and like unloads it, like looks around and then runs away, realizing what he's looking for is not in it.
Well, he's trying to just find whatever he can.
Yeah, he's just
It's like
scavenging still.
foraging.
They could start like breaking into cars maybe in the parking lot to like, you know, like somebody has
Like
one of those.
siphoning gas.
Somebody has one of those windshield things to keep the sun out of your car. And
Yeah.
he's just like wrapping that around himself. It's like a tinfoil, you know, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like there's options.
So we can.
Yeah, so if they're assuming that like, you know, this society's broken down, then all these cars parked here, and
Okay, we got a fourth mic. Apparently Siri is joining the show.
uh,
So, well, that's our choice though. Is do they just go in, shopping,
I think, yeah, them.
and they're very scared, or do they go in hostile and attempt to raid the Walmart with weapons?
I
the two
like going
options.
in hostile.
I kind of like the shopping, but I feel like there's more.
I think they send Kyle in first, and Kyle's like the one that's scared about it, and he doesn't come back with the right supplies.
Rex comes in and saves him.
Rex comes in, and he's like, "All right, I'm taking over."
Maybe Kyle somehow screws up and sets off the theft alarm, and then Rex is like, "Dear God, like I gotta save him," and goes in and just like gets in like some epic battle with the Walmart security guard.
Like, he just comes in swinging.
That's what I'm picturing. So that's those are our choices basically, but they got to get in there and they got to get their supplies.
They send Kyle in first, and he comes running out with pushing a cart full of toilet paper. He's like, we have plenty of toilet paper. We didn't need more toilet paper.
What is this? One ply?
That's the last thing.
You didn't even get the
What's
good
the matter
kind.
It's the last thing we need is toilet paper. We have plenty. But yeah, but that's so. I mean, do we have a consensus here? I like the shopping idea. To me, that's kind of funnier.
I think to going in together and like just play cool.
You're
cool.
sweating bullets.
Yeah.
Shopping. You know.
Yeah, I almost feel like they should like, I don't know, call out some kind of clothing people are wearing. They all seem to be wearing like
They
this.
walk in and the greeter's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And they're like, "Oh!"
No, so this is maybe it. The greeter would be the most disfigured of them all.
Or actually,
No.
I got one for you. What if they actually like sneak in back and beat up a couple workers to take their outfits?
So now they're
and use that to infiltrate.
instead
the
of
store.
stocking the shelves, they're unstocking the shelves.
They're unstocking the shelves, dressed as Walmart workers, and everyone's like, "What in the hell are these guys doing?"
I was kind of picturing. So now I'm thinking about it. Maybe they go in, they're doing the let's try not to be detected, and they're just shopping, and everything obviously goes fine until they hit the moment where, as they're walking out, the beeping happens as they exit the door, and now they're just like, it's on.
Yeah,
And now it just goes into full on war mode.
yeah. I do like them beating up workers and posing as them in the store to start taking stuff, and like the boss comes and finds them, and that's where they have their battle.
No, they have to go to run, but then just by coincidence, the guy who's bringing back all the carts, like, accidentally just makes a wall that boxes them in. So now they have to fight. You know what I mean? And it just becomes a full on
just like a wrong place, wrong time.
gun to a Walmart greeter's head.
Yeah.
No, I think
Everyone, stay back! Stay back!
I'm about to roll back prices if anybody moves.
I'm Rex Thunderstrike. TH. Wait a minute. Maybe I don't want to do that.
No, of course not. But
I
he
think
might.
I think Rex is gonna be super stealthy about it. And so he doesn't need to be sneaking around the Walmart. He could just be doing his shopping, but he's been preparing for this his whole life. So he's, through the art of being like a commando wannabe, he like sneaks around and gets the items that he needs.
Just tactical shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah, or I mean, he could just literally grab a cart like a wild man and just knocking shit off the shelves. Yeah, like someone tries like, "Sir, you need to pay for that." He just hits him with the cart. Just like keeps going.
You guys ever watch Supermarket Sweep?
I
Everybody would always
remember
go
it.
for the ham. Everybody knew the ham was the big item.
It was the
I
ham.
only-
A large ham, yeah.
Huh.
It's like a $70 ham.
I'd probably be like, "Where's the lobsters?"
No, I remember the winners always just had carts full of ham.
Hams.
They knew.
Huh?
They knew.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's true.
All right, I like it.
So either way, whatever we decide, the men make it out with a cart full of canned cheeseburgers and an air fryer.
This Walmart doesn't
How are they
sell
gonna
canned
power the
cheeseburgers.
air
I know I
fryer?
wrote this by mistake. I saw that I Googled it and I saw Walmart was one of the results. So I go, Walmart sells canned cheeseburgers? And then I looked it up earlier today and it's literally just hamburger meat in a can.
Yeah.
So it's not full burgers. So
No.
maybe they had to settle.
Yeah, all right.
not-
They'll meet you halfway.
We're just eating raw hamburger meat out of a
Oh God.
maybe.
Ugh.
So anyways, but they got an air fryer too. So
Kyle's grossed out by it, but Rex is like, "You get used to
well,
it."
they can air fry it. So things are looking up.
Yeah, I think they're looking at it. They got an air fryer.
I think he needs to make Kyle like pedal the bicycle for the generator to use the air fryer.
Yeah, he's going to
pedal
use
a bike
Kyle.
to air fry something. That's pretty funny. Maybe that's why he keeps him around. He's
Yeah.
like, I need
Yeah.
you are now a source
You're
of
the
electricity.
laborer.
So they continue down the Appalachian Trail, filled to the brim with supplies. Kyle is just carrying an unopened air fryer box. They point a gun at everyone they pass. This is what I picture.
Stay back.
So now it's just a full-on survival guy walking the trail and a hippie stoner following him with just a big boxed air fryer
Just carrying an air
on the
fryer.
Appalachian Trail. Like, that's what I'm picturing. So obviously, so I've explained the box labels, right?
Yep.
And how we want to work that in. So I'm thinking, how do we do the fake alien encounter?
Somebody. Well, no, that's a little too crude.
I think he probably like sees
Let's hear it.
some UFOs or something.
Sorry, what?
Sees what he thinks is a UFO or UAP.
So obviously you think something in the sky. I didn't settle on it, but my thought was that they maybe come across like a music festival or a rave, and
They're
like
just like twirling
in the
lights and
woods,
stuff.
like it's like Electric Forest or something,
Yeah.
and he's just like, my God, like clearly they've landed. It's just crazy lights and EDM music playing
Yeah.
or something.
They just get separated, and Kyle comes back like they probed me.
So I took too many because he is a hippie.
Yeah.
So maybe he goes right in and just like meshes, and he just comes back and he's tripping, and he's like, I don't know if I got probed or laid. He's like, something happened in there. But like, if you like, I think it works though, because like Skrillex, I've seen Skrillex.
I think that's Kyle's like life altering moment that he's been searching for too. He was like, I found my piece at the music festival.
Might have been probed. Might have.
Could be peaceful.
So I
but
think that seems like his kind of crowd though.
Well, like Skrillex's stage show was literally like he's DJing from a fake UFO with like smoke machines going, and there's crazy lights.
All right, I can see it.
So I'm thinking if they were to see that,
Yeah.
they'd be like,
My God.
it is aliens. You know what I mean? So we've had them all, except Pandemic, but maybe Kyle just starts like sneezing at some point, and now Rex is like, stay over there. Like, walk away from me.
Yeah,
or something.
you're gross.
So we
Rex
can go
is, like somehow like torn his suit along the trail, like it snagged on a branch or something.
And then he thinks that he's been infected.
Say Kyle's like in the saran wrap mummy suit, and he just like snagged, like, you fucking idiot.
Right.
You-
Give me
you
some of that
wrecked it.
saran
Yeah,
wrap.
when they were
No
at
way,
the
man, I
Walmart,
made
they
this
should have
myself.
in the Walmart they should have just wrapped each other in saran wrap, like in an aisle.
Yeah, I like
mid-shopping.
that.
That'd be
And
pretty
they're
good.
just sweating on the trail trying to walk.
Nobody said survival would
Makes
be
things
easy.
so much worse.
Jeez.
Nobody said survival would be easy, kid. Rex Thunderstrike.
And he's like, you were totally right about the air fryer. That those burgers were delicious.
Well, they still haven't gotten there. He's just carrying a box through the woods. So a week passes, and they've eaten the last of their purchased cheeseburgers. Every cache they've passed has been dug up. Rex tells Kyle that they should arrive at their destination within a day or two. Kyle's arms are killing him from carrying the air fryer. He won't part with it, though, and the men stop to rest. Kyle uses the now crumpling air fryer box as a chair. So it's just a beaten up air fryer box.
As a pillow.
Yes, in the middle of the woods. Yeah, it's not like his buddy. It's his only supply.
Yep.
After a few minutes, Kyle asks for a roll of tactical teepee and heads into some nearby bushes. While waiting for Kyle, Rex spots a raccoon in a tree eating a canned cheeseburger.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, it's the raccoons that dug it up.
Rex gets visibly upset as he realizes that maybe it hasn't been Liz eating their caches this whole time.
It's been raccoons.
He says, we need to pick up the pace.
They
he
are
says.
clever though. They'll get into like trash.
I
or
saw one
burgers
time
or whatever.
It was actually when I was living with Spaceman. We had a frequent issue of our trash being ripped up, and our room was on the second floor, and we had eaten Papa John's pizza the night before. And I remember waking up and looking out the window, and level with my second story window was a squirrel in a tree with a marinara sauce cup with the lid peeled back that clearly said Papa John's. And he's just in a tree just slurping up the sauce. And I remember I was so pissed. It was the first thing I saw when I woke up, and I'm just like, son of a bitch, because I knew there was trash all over our yard.
Yeah,
It's like, they
we have
got
to
to
deal
do it
with
again.
Yep, I remember that.
To get back to the party packed episode, that was the house, or one of them.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I remember that vividly, of waking up and seeing that squirrel and going, God damn it, I have trash all over my yard.
You
right now,
asshole.
don't I?"
Yep.
Ugh.
So let's see. He says we need to pick up the pace because he's worried, It hasn't been Liz digging up the caches.
Yeah.
You know, Rex is now upset about this.
But like, I do want to say, isn't it kind of a dick move that she's taking the whole,
every cache.
like everything, like and not leaving anything for him?
Yeah.
If that were the case, he was like, she's trying to kill me.
yeah, I think you're right about that. I think there would be some resentment.
No, I think he's
just bitching about her the whole time. He's like,
like,
every burger again.
She's like, what a fucking like, what a bitch! Like, she's eating all of it.
She told me these were gross, and now she's eating all of them.
Blatantly ignoring my instructions, like to leave 2 canned cheeseburgers for me.
Well, you got to remember, he can't wait to rub all of this in her face.
Yeah.
So if anything, he'd be like, "Yeah, you ate them, didn't you, bitch?"
Yeah.
Like,
He's like talking to himself as they're walking down the trail.
yeah, exactly. So yeah,
Yeah, okay, Randy.
You dug
Thanks for
them
eating
up,
all the cheeseburgers.
taking them with you. Not even leave me one.
Barb, that's my private stash. The burgers. Trailer Park Boys. So anyways, yeah, he realizes it's not Liz, it's the raccoons. He goes, "We need to pick up the pace." "Hold on, I'm kind of having trouble here," says Kyle. Says, "There's no time. Pinch it off and let's go." He goes, "It's not that. It's this toilet paper. It's camouflage. How the hell am I supposed to know when I'm done wiping?" He goes, "You just have to call it at some point,
No, I
kid."
dropped it in the woods. I can't find it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so much worse.
Rolled away from me.
Oh man, yeah, that's so much worse.
Nobody says it's camouflage. He just can't tell when he's done wiping. And Rex just goes, "You just have to call it at some point, kid." Kyle sadly responds,
Trust your gut.
"Oh, well, all right. I don't see what's tactical about ruining my only pants and being itchy." The two move on. Finally, they arrive at the shack. Rex hurries inside to see if Liz is there, but as the door opens, dozens of raccoons scramble out, and the sounds of cans clinking all over the place signify that they've eaten all of his rations.
Yeah.
The inside is a cluttered mess, and Liz is nowhere to be seen.
But it's just a tiny little shack, you said?
Like a shed.
Yeah.
It's like a shed just
It's
in
like
the
a
middle of nowhere.
Deer blind or something.
Yeah, so Rex falls to his knees. Kyle comes in behind him asking where he can plug in his air fryer.
It's like, I gotta try this.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's not here, Rex declares. "So I can stay?" asks Kyle. Rex remains silent. Kyle looks around and realizes there's no food. He too collapses to his knees, dropping the air fryer box, which spills open.
Barnes.
I call the bed.
The two begin to quietly sob. Now they're just in an empty shed in the middle of nowhere with no food.
Yep.
Days go by as the men lie around the shack debating how to continue. Kyle wants to leave and find food. Rex is afraid to leave as Liz could show up at any time. So now they're just literally just laying in a shed, starving to death. "You seem very worried about her. You must really miss her," says Kyle. It's like, well, yeah, it's his wife.
Yeah, like, duh.
Yeah. Can't wait to rub it in her face, too.
It's the most epic I told you so they'll ever have been.
Exactly. The truth is, Rex has been fantasizing about rubbing the apocalypse in her face for weeks now. He may never get that chance.
So sad.
Kyle suggests that they hunt for food, as Rex has plenty of ammunition. Rex admits that he's never hunted before and he knows nothing of strategy or how to properly clean any animal.
I think also when all the raccoons go scurrying around, he's so angry that he just like fires all of his rounds. Like,
Okay,
empties the
no,
clip
that's a
back
pretty
up.
good one. He only had
Doesn't
one
hit
magazine.
anything, but
Yeah,
yeah,
and I also have no ammo.
waste
now.
all the ammunition.
No, that's pretty good. But what I put there is that, like most preppers, he just kept buying supplies without ever actually learning any skills and just imagined he could figure it out later. The problem is that they're too weak with hunger to even think. So now they're just like going crazy in a shed.
Yeah.
You know, like starving, they're weak, they're delirious. So the two lie on the floor for days, growing increasingly weaker. They both quietly consider cannibalism if either had the strength to get up and actually do anything.
I feel Rex loudly considers cannibalism.
Have I been talking this whole time?
Right. He's like talking to Kyle, and he starts
I
like
could just
picturing
fucking
him
eat
as like a talking cheeseburger or something.
Noticing the fine marbling on his neck. They revisit their talk about all the great things they could air fry and imagine that they're actually eating it. They're losing their minds. So they'll just get back to the air fryer conversation. So I was thinking they could possibly start air frying inedible things.
We'll try it
Like
on this.
air fry like their shoe.
Right.
Well, that was in Cannibal the Musical. They ate their shoes.
That's
If
true.
you'll remember, because
Yep.
they're like the salt and the leather should
Yeah.
keep us alive until
But
morning.
these guys got like
Oh,
some
man.
canvas shoes.
yeah, they're like not even ready to hike.
That
Right.
they've
You know.
just been walking around
Yeah.
on for 2 weeks.
I've got
So-
this flip flop.
Yeah, so they're just like maybe heating up like a washcloth, or something. They're just like, smells good.
Not too long, you'll burn it.
Yeah, exactly.
Turn it halfway.
Yeah. No, you're supposed to shake it halfway through so it cooks more evenly. So as things are looking their darkest, the silence is broken by a knock at the door.
Oh.
Oh, it's Liz or raccoons.
Both men look at it in shock. Hello?
They have to be like on the brink of
They're-
he's about to eat Kyle, basically.
He's got his mouth open.
Yeah, he's like,
Like,
trying to
huh?
shove his arm into the air fryer as we're talking.
Just slamming the lid on.
He's trying to. How can I
It's
get
come
the-
down to like this dire situation, and
trying
then
to
he
air-
finally hears the knock on the door.
You don't hear about a lot of air fried cannibalism.
No, not
Takes-
quite.
Welcome to 2025. We have a new genre of cannibalism. So the door opens to reveal a man in a nice suit, but it's very dirty with burrs and twigs stuck to it. Twigs stuck to it.
That's Twix.
The twigs would be delicious. Twigs.
Yeah, I was like, they're gonna eat this guy.
Yeah, a man covered in Twix knocks on your door.
I know.
No.
Imagine- What are the odds?
He's covered in burrs and twigs. Stuck to it like he's been walking the wilderness as well.
He's been lost out there.
So the man says, "Hi, I'm looking for Roger Stormpuddle." Rex sits up and says,
It's Kyle.
No, Rex sits up and says, yeah, that's me. Come on in. Kyle is confused. Rex introduced himself as Rex Thunderstrike. Rex awkwardly tells him that Roger is his legal name.
Roger Stormpuddle.
He's Roger Stormpuddle, but he just goes by
Doesn't
Rex
sound as
Thunderstrike.
cool. So.
No, Rex Thunderstrike is what he went with. Roger, you're a hard man to find. I'm Jason, your wife's divorce attorney. I'm here to serve you divorce papers. What? Divorce papers? What court is even in session anymore? The world has completely gone to shit. How can this be? Because I know it's a shock, Roger. I know exactly how you feel. I've been divorced myself.
Twice, in fact.
So he doesn't even understand what he's telling him. So once again, we have the labels of the boxes at home.
Uh-huh.
The last one, the punchline is it said mother-in-law. I'm thinking the mother-in-law is mentioned in the divorce filings as like she's the one that talked Liz into finally, you know what I
Okay.
mean? So it's
Yeah.
like it all has to be foreshadowed, I
Yeah.
think, by those boxes.
You could just make the last one just
Mother-in-law's
divorce.
been the one who's digging up the caches. She's just like
A diseased
sabotaging his plans. She knows that he's making his trip to there.
Yeah, so Roger says, I know exactly how you feel. I've been divorced myself. Liz said you'd be blindsided by this. I'm very sorry. If it makes you feel any better, she wants to do this amicably. All she wants is the house and her car. You can have all the crap inside. You can even keep this shack. Just sign here, and I can send someone up with all your belongings.
Here,
You won't even
here,
need to appear
and
in
here,
court.
And here.
And I won't even tell her that you're just alone in this shack with this random man.
I won't tell you that I found
Hey
you.
fellas, I don't know what I'm interrupting here, but
Yeah,
just need a quick signature.
I won't even mention that I found you all the way up here, lying down with another much younger man.
Right.
Both half naked for some reason.
God, I heard a lot of grunting before you were.
Yeah,
knocked
maybe they've
on-
been eating their
before you opened
clothes.
the door.
Maybe they've
there
been
you
air
go.
frying and eating their clothes, and this guy shows up and they're naked. And he's just like, look, I'm not even going to mention this. Just sign the documents.
Yeah, just sign the documents. This doesn't even need to come up.
Yeah, it goes, I get it, man. It's a tough time. You're going through something weird. I get it.
It's like, I see where this is all coming from now.
Yeah.
It's crystal clear. Just sign.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, but do you have any food? We're literally dying, asks Kyle. Oh, sure, here. Jason tosses them a few Cliff Bars from inside his suit jacket. Rex signs the
Canned
paper.
cheeseburger.
Yeah, he also is a,
He
is
just
a
carries it with him.
he
Opens
also-
his briefcase.
he's also an avid canned cheeseburger connoisseur. So he tosses them the Cliff Bars from his jacket. Rex signs the papers. Jason thanks him and leaves. Rex lays there stunned as Kyle asks him if it's possible to air fry a Cliff Bar. That's the end of my notes.
Okay.
So that would be the
The answer is yes. It would just be a mess.
well, it's possible, but like, yeah, I mean, why?
Would it improve the taste?
It was like, yes, but what's the point?
It might. It could.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my sitcom ending punchline.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible to, you know, and credits roll?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the end of the
Yeah.
note. So you get the premise. You
I
obviously
think Kyle has to always be like looking on the bright side. He's always like cheerful, like, well, you know, we'll make the best of it here in this shack or whatever. And Rex is now at his wit's end, and he's like, my wife left me, and raccoons ate all my stash
I have
of
to
food.
be gay with Kyle now.
Right.
turns out I don't know how to hunt or anything. I spend my life savings on all this shit I don't know how to use.
Yeah.
Which I think is a common. I've seen, like, I've clicked on an Our Preppers post on Reddit before, and now it just keeps feeding them to me. That was part of the inspiration of this. And you just get the vibe that a lot of these guys are just buying shit and don't really have
It's
any
more about
concept of what would really happen.
They are collectors.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Yeah, it's a collection. You
Yep.
know, that's really the best way to put it. Is like, this is your hobby. You buy these things, and it makes you feel good.
They're
Thinking
just
you're prepared.
prepping the guy that actually knows how to use it.
Yes, but a lot of them have probably
Whoever's
never even
gonna
hunted
steal
or
that from
cleaned a
you.
deer or
Yeah.
anything. But they have all the stuff to do it, and they're just thinking that, like, well, when the time comes, I have the stuff, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that, like, no, there's a lot of stuff that you really should know how to do if you really plan on surviving a shit
I'll
hitting the
just
fan
look it up on my
scenario.
phone when the time comes. And
Yeah.
then-
I'll Google it.
Yeah.
They could have gone to the cabin and then it's just his wife just getting plowed by someone.
by the attorney.
Like with a bunch of canned cheeseburgers everywhere.
Well, then that would be the sitcom ending line would be Kyle asking where to plug in the air fryer.
Yeah, that's true. Like, oh, your wife's cheating on you. Where can I plug this in?
I don't know why it has been making me laugh just picturing a guy walking the Appalachian Trail with an air fryer.
Yeah,
in the
that's pretty
box.
good. That's good imagery.
Like it's very funny, especially the guy leading is just full tactical
Yeah,
gear.
no, he's like a dirty hippie.
Yeah,
And just no other worldly possessions, just this box air fryer.
yeah, because the way the trail is set up is I don't know how frequently it is, and I'm sure there are long stretches of wilderness, but like all these places, like when you go near a town, there is a little general store that basically lives off people off the trail. So they sell stuff like hiking gear and survival stuff.
They found
And
there was a need for it, so someone said
yeah,
it. They
exactly. And not only that, those people will help you get your bag lighter. It's kind of interesting, like the lengths people go to keep their bag as light as possible, and even the order you pack things to like where it's
Where
being
it sits
carried
on your back.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's to the point where, like, if you bring a book for entertainment, like you're supposed to like rip out pages as you read
As you
them
go.
to shade. Not only does it makes your book lighter, but now you can like start a fire with it and
Yeah,
stuff
that
like
makes
that.
sense, actually,
yeah, like
yeah.
I mean, there's a whole like you got to really do some research if you're gonna hit the trails.
Yeah.
And that's just for hiking. That's not hunting or anything.
Yeah.
But you can, every so often you can, okay, we got a town 2 days away and we can buy more supplies then. And the people at the store will help you like throw things like what can you throw away in your bag? Like what's useless,
Yeah. We've circled back and this whole thing sounds lovely.
Wow,
to
you
me.
got a lot of toilet paper here.
Well,
Not much other things.
like I said, I mean, it isn't enticing. It's a very like romantic idea to walk the Appalachian Trail. But like I said, I mean, the time of year you go, some people do it going this way. Some people do it going this way.
I can picture
You have to
somebody
plan the
like,
whole thing out.
yeah, not like going in there, not realizing what it would take or how hard it would be or what supplies you would need, and just being like underprepared in walking in flip flops.
Yeah.
Where do I plug
with
in my
no-
bidet?
Well,
Yeah,
and
no
even if
map,
you
no
even
help.
if you plan for the weather, where you're like, okay, I'm going to be going this direction. This is what season
Yeah.
it is. This is going to be the rough, rainy part. This is going to be the whatever. You still are held to like, well, if this is going to work, I got to hit so many miles a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you do kind of have a quota.
Yep.
So like if you find a spot where you're like, oh, this is beautiful. I can camp by this lake. I can fish here. I'll be good. That might screw up your plans for the weather 3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because you spent an extra few days or something, in some cool spot you found.
Yeah.
And they do have structures and stuff. And that's where like a lot of people I think meet is like you'll come across like a shelter and it's like designed for people on the trail to use. And you get there, but like there's other people there using it. So
Yeah.
now you're like, okay, I guess I'm chilling with these people tonight.
Yeah.
And you get to know them or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting stories of people like, I saw a documentary recently of a guy they found starved to death in a tent, but he had food. And they were like, what? Like,
Yeah,
they were like, his
weird.
tent had food. And they did all this research to find out who he was. Nobody knew who he was.
Yeah.
You know, and they interviewed other people that had walked the trail that had met him, and they found him in their photos and stuff. It was very interesting. But like, you get all kinds of people. Some people that just like the challenge of it, and then you get people that are like literally running from something.
Yeah.
You know, like where they're just like, screw society, I'm going to the woods for 4 months, you know, or whatever. And I think some people even just kind of walk back and forth because they're like, I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's you get all kinds of people out there. And that's where I find it's funny that you might pass a Rex Thunderstrike who's just going to point a gun at your head because he thinks it's Walking Dead. And you're just kind of like, hey, man, I'm just from Ohio and trying to like do something I can tell a story about
I
later.
just got some Band-Aids in this fanny pack and a water
This is
bottle.
just my
and
midlife
that's it.
crisis, man. Just let me go.
Hey, man, I just got divorced and I'm just like looking for something to better myself.
I'm just sad.
Yeah. It's like, I just don't know what to do with my life, okay? But yeah, that's what I'm picturing. So you see how it could happen, I guess, if an overzealous prepper just ditches everything, and then you could potentially convince somebody on the trail, hey man, don't go into town. You'll be killed by bandits, you know.
I'm not sure you could convince anyone, but all right.
You might not, but at the same time, imagine you were told that on the trail. Wouldn't you kind of like at least consider it? Or you'd be like, maybe I'll ask
I'd
the
walk
next
to the
guy.
tree line and kind of like take a gander.
See
but...
if you got cell service.
Yeah, I'd be like, all right, what
Do
the fuck is wrong with that guy?
Do some Googling. Maybe ask the next person you saw.
Maybe double check every once in a while.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I think we covered everything other than the pandemic, but that could easily be filled in with like Kyle got a cold at some point and like Rex tore his hazmat suit and started freaking out about it.
Yeah, I think Rex puts on the hazmat suit very prematurely and wears it through most of the movie, and then as soon as Kyle starts to get like some sniffles and a cold because it rained one day or something.
I also love the idea of them shopping at Walmart in hazmat suits. That's because that'd be the thing, because like you saw Liz forgot the toilet paper. He could also see that she left her hazmat suit and packed it. So maybe he does have one for
What
Kyle.
would she do without me?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This, she would just lose her head if I
still
would.
like the saran wrap around you, look, just making you walk like a mummy.
The makeshift. What was
Yeah,
that movie?
I think like the patchwork, like this is what I've got, and I'll just make it work.
You know what? You just reminded me of it. This is kind of, I mean, it's very much different, but like it was a Cloverfield movie. It was something 1-2-3 Cloverfield Lane or something with John Goodman. Did you guys ever watch that movie?
I think I've watched some of it.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm aware of it.
It's a similar story where John Goodman gets in a car accident with a woman on the road, and then he takes her back, like she's injured.
Oh, yeah.
And he takes her back to like his bunker, his like basement basically, but it's set up like a bunker and it's locked and there's air filters and stuff. And he tells her a whole story of like, the world's ended, you can't leave, you'll be poisoned. And they made a makeshift hazmat suit out of like a shower curtain.
Yeah.
So like you're right, it is kind of a similar premise.
Yeah.
You've got somebody who's like, is it really like that out there, or is this guy bullshitting?
Yeah, I just got to take his word for it.
Yeah, so I guess that was a good movie, by the way.
Yeah.
I forget the numbers, but it was something Cloverfield Lane. It was a Netflix movie, I think, too. Maybe not.
Yeah.
But that was part of the Cloverfield universe.
No, the Space Cloverfield one was a Netflix one.
You're right.
Yeah. I don't remember where I saw this one, but it's a good movie.
Okay. Yeah.
Something
I think
Cloverfield
I have
Lane.
seen it.
I'm going to rewatch it. That's a good one. Maybe even better than this.
Well, they finished it, so by definition.
Yeah. So, we never finished them.
No.
But I mean, any final thoughts on this?
Rex Thunderstrike.
I like that Rex Thunderstrike is probably the most badass name we've had. Oh, Jack Hardball is pretty good.
Yeah, Jack Hardball's.
But I like that he was just, by the end of it, reduced to Roger Storm Puddle.
Yeah. Roger Yellow Puddle.
Like Jacob Yellow Snow.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, so that's no more final thoughts. I mean, I think
I think we got it.
it's obviously a very silly.
I think you touched on a couple different. So we talked about this before. All the different hobbies, like somebody might dedicate most of their time to that is not even on someone else's radar. So you've got the prepper people, you've got the Appalachian Trail people. You picked up a couple different hobbies that, like, we haven't discussed, we haven't even really considered. So I think that's an interesting premise for
There's a lot of air fryer enthusiasts out there, even in this room.
That's a fan club I belong to.
I made some jalapeno broccoli in an air fryer.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good.
Pretty damn good. But it was also I overcooked it.
Oh well, it's probably still good.
It wilted. I ate it.
Yeah. You could make a
Broccoli's
little
tricky.
sauce for it. That sounds good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked it. But any more?
Yeah, I think we're good.
I think we covered it.
Yep.
So, well,
All right.
that's we won't finish this podcast. So check us out. You can check us out on social media. Linktree/WWFT pod has all our links. We're on every social media for the most part. Just made a Threads recently. Check us out on Threads.
If you're watching the live stream, feel free to chime in a comment. You can maybe change the course of the movie if you have a helpful suggestion.
Yes, and if not right now, we do live stream every episode. So you're in the writer's room if you want. You know, like if you ever say anything and it's relevant to the discussion.
Yep. Toss an idea out there.
We'll read your comment. We'll shout your name out. You'll get credit, and you will be immortalized in a prestigious episode of We Won't Finish This Podcast. But I think we did it.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we'll call it. So.